what if money isn't random? What if the difference between people who struggle financially and people who build extraordinary wealth is not luck, intelligence, or even income, but a repeatable algorithm? Imagine two people earning the same salary, living in the same city, and facing the same economy. 10 years later, one is trapped in debt and stress, while the other has investments, freedom, and growing wealth. Most people call this good financial choices. But when you look closely, it behaves more like a program. Input the same habits, and you tend to get the same outcomes. Spend first, save later, avoid learning, chase status, and repeat emotional decisions. The result is usually financial pressure. Save first, invest consistently, increase skills, control lifestyle inflation, and think long-term. The result is often financial freedom. This journey is about discovering the money algorithm, the hidden sequence of behaviors that quietly determines your financial future long before the numbers become visible. Stay with me until the very end, because once you understand the algorithm behind wealth, you may realize that building money is less about guessing and more about running the right code in your life every single day. Most people think wealth begins with a high income. The algorithm begins somewhere else. Awareness. You cannot improve what you do not measure. Many people know how much they earn, but very few know where most of it goes. Money disappears through subscriptions, impulse purchases, convenient spending, and habits that feel too small to matter. The first step in the algorithm is simply seeing reality clearly. Awareness creates control, and control creates the possibility of change. The second step is creating a gap. Wealth is born in the space between income and expenses. If every dollar that enters your life immediately leaves it, the algorithm cannot begin. That gap does not need to be enormous. What matters is that it exists consistently. A small gap repeated for many years is more powerful than a large gap that disappears after a few months. Think of it like planting seeds. One seed may seem insignificant, but a farmer does not judge the harvest by the first day. The seed becomes valuable because time is allowed to work on it. Your savings are the same. At first, they look small. Later, they become capital. Eventually, they become freedom. The third step is automation. Human beings are emotional. We save when motivated and spend when stressed, bored, excited, or influenced by others. The algorithm becomes powerful when good decisions no longer depend on daily willpower. Automatic transfers to savings and investments turn discipline into a system. You stop negotiating with yourself every month. The system makes the decision before emotion has a chance to interfere. The fourth step is ownership. Income alone rarely creates lasting wealth. Ownership does. Stocks, businesses, real estate, intellectual property, and other productive assets continue creating value even when you are not actively working. Employees are paid once for their time. Owners can be paid repeatedly for assets they control. The algorithm shifts from survival to wealth when money begins buying ownership instead of only consumption. The fifth step is compounding. This is where the algorithm starts looking almost magical. In the beginning, your contributions do most of the work. Then the growth begins generating additional growth. Later, the growth on the growth becomes significant. Most people quit before reaching this stage because the early results feel slow. The algorithm rewards patience more than excitement. Imagine pushing a heavy flywheel. The first pushes are exhausting. It barely moves. But each push adds momentum. Eventually, the wheel begins helping itself. Wealth works the same way. The early years require discipline. The later years reward that discipline with acceleration. The sixth step is skill expansion. A powerful algorithm increases both saving and earning. Every valuable skill, communication, sales, technology, leadership, writing, design, problem solving, or business, can increase your future income. Knowledge compounds just like money. A course may cost a few $100s, but a skill can increase your earning power for decades. The seventh step is protecting the algorithm from corruption. Lifestyle inflation is one of the biggest threats to wealth. Income rises, expenses rise, and the gap disappears. The algorithm breaks. Wealth builders allow their lifestyle to improve more slowly than their income. They use raises to increase investments, not just spending. Another threat is comparison. Social media constantly encourages the feeling that everyone else is moving faster. But comparison causes people to spend for appearance rather than for value. The algorithm is personal. It does not care what your neighbor drives or what a stranger posts online. It responds only to your inputs. The eighth step is time. This is the variable most people underestimate. They search for higher returns while ignoring longer duration. A reasonable return sustained for 30 years is often more powerful than an extraordinary return sustained for 3. Time is not just part of the algorithm. It is the multiplier that makes the algorithm work. As we begin this journey through the money algorithm, remember one powerful truth. Wealth is rarely created by a single brilliant decision. It is created by a sequence. Awareness, gap, automation, ownership, compounding, skill growth, protection, time. Run that sequence consistently and the results can become extraordinary. Break the sequence repeatedly and even a high income may never create freedom. Because in the end, money is not random. It follows patterns. And the people who become financially free are often not the ones who discovered a secret that nobody else knows. They are the people who learned the algorithm, trusted the process, and repeated the right financial code long enough for time to turn ordinary decisions into extraordinary wealth. The next stage of the money algorithm is where most people either become financially free or unknowingly restart the cycle from the beginning. It is the stage of decision multiplication. At first, every financial decision affects only a small amount of money. A $20 purchase, a $100 investment, a skipped savings contribution. The consequences seem tiny. But as your income, savings, and investments grow, each decision begins affecting a much larger future. A small percentage change in spending can now mean thousands of dollars invested. A few extra years of compounding can mean tens or hundreds of thousands in future wealth. The algorithm becomes more powerful because the numbers it is working on become larger. Imagine a computer program processing one number, then 10 numbers, then 1,000,000 numbers. The code has not changed, but the output becomes dramatically bigger. Your habits are the code. Your growing capital is the data being processed. This is why wealthy people become increasingly careful with small percentages. A 1% improvement in savings, investment costs, taxes, or returns may seem unimportant today, but over decades it can create an enormous difference. The algorithm rewards optimization, not perfection. Another important part of the algorithm is understanding the difference between income velocity and wealth velocity. Income velocity is how quickly money comes in and goes out. Wealth velocity is how quickly money comes in and stays invested. Many people have high income velocity. Large paychecks arrive and disappear just as quickly. The algorithm never gets enough retained capital to work with. Financially free people focus on increasing wealth velocity. They keep more money inside the system where it can continue compounding. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. If you keep removing snow from it every few seconds, it grows slowly. If you allow it to keep collecting snow, growth accelerates. Every unnecessary withdrawal from your investment system slows the algorithm. This leads to one of the most powerful concepts in the money algorithm: friction. Make bad financial decisions harder. Make good financial decisions easier. Remove shopping apps if they trigger impulse spending. Keep investment contributions automatic. Separate spending money from investment money. Add a waiting period before large purchases. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs of intelligent system design. Successful people often do not have superhuman discipline. They have environments that support better behavior. Another stage of the algorithm is income diversification. When all income comes from one source, the system is fragile. A job loss, industry change, or economic shock can interrupt the entire process. The goal is not to create 10 complicated businesses. The goal is to gradually build additional streams of value: investments, side skills, digital products, consulting, royalties, or other assets that reduce dependence on a single paycheck. Each additional stream acts like a backup power source for your financial life. There is also a hidden emotional upgrade that happens when the algorithm starts working. In the beginning, money creates anxiety because every expense feels significant. As savings grow, anxiety gradually becomes stability. Later, stability becomes confidence. Eventually, confidence becomes optionality. Optionality is one of the highest forms of wealth. The option to take a break, the option to change careers, the option to start a business, the option to help family, the option to say no, the option to choose meaningful work over merely profitable work. Most people think wealth is about buying more things. In reality, wealth is often about buying more choices. Another critical part of the algorithm is avoiding emotional resets. Many people make progress for a year, then overspend during a vacation, market boom, celebration, or stressful period. They repeatedly reset their progress. The algorithm becomes unstable. Wealth builders understand that consistency matters more than intensity. They do not need perfect months. They need the system to survive imperfect months. Think of a rocket traveling to the moon. It does not fly in a perfectly straight line. It makes constant small corrections while continuing toward the destination. Your financial life should work the same way. As the years pass, the algorithm begins producing results that seem disproportionate to the effort. This is the stage where outsiders may call it luck. They see the portfolio, the business, the freedom, or the security. They do not see the thousands of ordinary decisions that created the outcome. The final and perhaps most important stage of the money algorithm is understanding that the algorithm is not really about money at all. It is about awareness over ignorance, intention over impulse, ownership over dependence, patience over excitement, systems over motivation, long-term thinking over short-term comfort. Money is simply the scoreboard, and one day, if you run the algorithm consistently for long enough, you may discover that the greatest return was never the number in your account. The greatest return was becoming someone who thinks clearly, acts intentionally, stays calm during uncertainty, and builds freedom one decision at a time. Because in the end, the money algorithm is not a secret formula hidden by the wealthy. It is a sequence of timeless behaviors that anyone can follow. The inputs are small. The process is slow. The results are exponential. And that is why the people who become financially free are often not the people chasing the fastest money. They are the people running the right algorithm long enough for time to reveal its extraordinary power. The final stage of the money algorithm is the stage very few people ever reach, not because it is impossible, but because most people stop too early. They build some savings, make a few investments, and then slowly drift back into old habits. The algorithm loses momentum. But those who continue eventually discover something remarkable. Wealth begins to grow faster than effort. This is the point where your past decisions start working harder than your present labor. Think about a farmer planting an orchard. The first years require constant work. Digging, watering, protecting, and waiting. There is little fruit and a lot of effort. But once the trees mature, the relationship changes. The orchard begins producing season after season. The farmer still maintains it, but the harvest is no longer created only by today's work. It is created by years of previous work. Wealth behaves exactly the same way. In the beginning, you are building the machine. Later, the machine begins helping build itself. This is why the wealthy often seem to accelerate while everyone else is still struggling. It is not always because they suddenly became smarter. It is because they have reached the stage where compounding, ownership, and systems are working together simultaneously. Your investments generate returns. Those returns generate additional returns. Your skills increase your income. Your income increases your investments. Your growing assets create more opportunities. The algorithm becomes self-reinforcing. Another important realization is that financial freedom is not about having unlimited money. It is about reaching the point where money is no longer the primary factor behind every decision. Can I take this opportunity? Can I spend time with my family? Can I take care of my health? Can I learn something new? Can I start a project that matters to me? Can I say no to something that violates my values? When money stops controlling these answers, you have already achieved a form of wealth that many high earners never experience. There is also a hidden danger at this stage: forgetting the principles that created the success. The algorithm can be broken by overconfidence, lifestyle inflation, chasing quick riches, ignoring risk, stopping learning, believing the rules no longer apply to you. History is filled with people who built substantial wealth and then lost it because they abandoned the very habits that created it. The algorithm rewards consistency, not ego. One of the most powerful upgrades you can make is shifting from earning money to creating value at scale. If you solve a problem for one person, you earn once. If you solve a problem for many people, you create leverage. This is why businesses, technology, education, content, and intellectual property can become extraordinary wealth creators. They allow a single effort to reach thousands or millions of people. But remember, scale without value is temporary. The algorithm only sustains what genuinely helps others. Another stage of maturity is understanding that protecting peace is a financial decision. Many people become wealthier but not happier because they sacrifice health, relationships, sleep, and meaning in the pursuit of more. The algorithm was never meant to produce a larger bank account at the cost of a smaller life. True wealth is not maximizing every dollar. It is optimizing the relationship between money, time, health, relationships, purpose, peace of mind. As the algorithm continues running, you may notice a surprising shift in motivation. In the beginning, you want money to escape stress. Later, you want money to create freedom. Eventually, you realize that the deepest form of wealth is the ability to live in alignment with your values. You stop asking, "How much can I make?" You start asking, "What kind of life am I building? What kind of person am I becoming? What will still matter 20 years from now?" And perhaps the most important lesson of the money algorithm is this: the algorithm is not a shortcut. It is a direction. There will be market crashes, unexpected expenses, career changes, mistakes, slow years, doubt. But if the direction remains correct, temporary setbacks do not destroy the outcome. A plane traveling across an ocean is almost never perfectly on course. It makes constant small adjustments while continuing toward the destination. Financially successful people do the same. They do not require perfection. They require persistence. So, if you remember only one thing from this journey, remember this sequence: earn with skill, Spend with intention. Save with consistency. Invest with patience. Own productive assets. Protect your peace. Repeat for many years. That is the algorithm. Not glamorous, not viral, not overnight, but extraordinarily powerful. And one day when people look at your financial life and wonder how you became so secure, so calm, and so free, they may assume there was a secret opportunity, a lucky investment, or a hidden advantage. But you will know the truth. The real secret was never a single breakthrough. It was the quiet decision to run the right algorithm every day, long enough for time to transform ordinary actions into extraordinary wealth.